FCOA Lesson 10, the lead coach training. As a coach, you've already been helping out other lead coaches or instructors, and now the time has come. You're setting up your own freediving event. Slowly, our non-swimming friends start to believe that maybe they also can learn how to be part of the ocean, and they are looking for organizers that can take them there and teach them that. We will talk about how to advertise your event, the payment setup, communication, the event handling, duties of a lead coach, creating teaching opportunities and coach whispering, the aftercare, your credibility, plan B, what to do when things go wrong, book of lies about how to deal with human nature, and optimized time management. Advertising practice. After this briefing, you get a 12-minute deadline to advertise freediving on social media. It should include at least what, when, and where. Discuss possible concerns you might have with your group members and coach. 2. Flyering. Today you will practice 30 minutes of street or beach advertising. We will give you a laminated flyer with a QR code, and it's your job to find 5 strangers that will make a picture of it. Be ready with a comeback for the most common responses, like freediving, is it for free? Oh, I can't swim. Or I'm too old. Or I'm scared of sharks. Or I don't have the right clothes with me. Before you leave a person who is not interested, ask them to take a picture of your flyer to pass it on to a non-swimming friend. Work with deadlines. Evolve through action. You must try out advertising strategies to see what does and does not work. Then adapt. Your best advertisers are your previously non-swimming participants. Make them happy. Make them a good picture, and many of them will put it on their profile. The story of a non-swimmer learning to dive is very inspiring. The payment setup. Be clear about what things cost. Your participants want to know how much they will spend over the weekend. Be very clear about all the extra costs that are not included in your packet. Hidden charges are a big no-no and will give you a bad reputation. You could choose to insist on full payments in advance to control the cancellation rate. Participants that pay in advance are more determined, more serious, more ready to learn, and they hardly ever back out. Be clear about your inclusions and make sure to deliver what you promise. First of all, be very careful about what you promise. Set low expectations. If for any reason you can't deliver what you promised, then acknowledge that and come up with a fair way to fix it. Also, be clear to your fellow coaches what you expect from them and how much they will earn. They should know this before they commit. It'd be good to agree on a low base pay with a high commission. In that way, it's easier to keep coaches employed on quiet days, and they will have financial motivation to work hard on busy days. Be quick with transactions. No matter what needs to get paid, when people have to wait or repeatedly have to ask, then with every hour their resentment grows. It's a good habit to equalize all outstanding balances before the day ends. In this way, if there is a disagreement about any of the payments, it only involves one day. The memories of what happened that day are still fresh, and therefore it's easy to come to a solution. Communication. It works well over social media. When you can see people's profiles, most of your inquiries will be genuine. And if your event information is clear, then the amount of questions you need to answer will be the least. Be quick, short, and exact in your replies. If someone asks you for a service you don't offer, then be kind enough to refer them to someone that does. Never ignore an inquiry. Event handling. Brief your team far in advance. Prepare your coaches through roleplay for their upcoming teaching tasks. Try to give them a new task every event so they can continue to grow. On the event day, work on time. Avoid that participants have to wait. Keep the coaches engaged. Now, during the actual event, as a lead coach, you should step back and observe. You need distance to maintain overview. If anything comes up, first try to assign another coach, and be sure all coaches are busy before you engage yourself. Creating teaching opportunities. Respect all the coach-to-student relationships. Once you, as a lead coach, prepared one of your coaches through roleplay to teach a certain subject, and you both decided that they are ready, then let them do it without interfering, even if they stumble. They might even teach better when you're not around to watch them struggle. Often new coaches need a minute to adjust and find their bearing. Give them that minute. If they wish for your assistance, they will let you know. Now let them be. Afterwards, new coaches sometimes feel they did not so well. If that's the case, then tell them that they did good enough and that they will only get better every time they do it again. We are not after perfection, because those that want things perfect often have to wait forever. Our approach should be practical, hands-on, and without delays. Another way to support coaches in training is to buddy them up with a coach whisperer. The coach whisperer is an experienced coach who gets buddied up with a coach in training. His or her duty is to prepare, advise, and guide the coach in training. Yet, the participants should barely notice this, and the coach in training should appear to be in charge. Even though the coach whisperer has the end responsibility of the conduct, it should be the coach in training that leads the group. Coaches in training should follow the advice of their whisperers. In case the coach in training freezes or finds himself overwhelmed, the coach whisperer can take over. Questions that should be running in the head of a coach whisperer are: how can we optimize safety and eliminate risk? How can we be more efficient and produce more dives in a given time? And what is next? What could go wrong? The benefits of this system is that it generates extra teaching opportunities for both coaches in training and experienced coaches. There is no such thing as a born leader. Leadership consists out of a set of skills and values that can be learned. Some people learn it at a very young age, and therefore they wrongfully get described as born leaders. The debriefing. Point out everything that was great. Then you could point out one area of improvement per person. But pick only one topic. Don't flood people with criticism unless they specifically ask for your feedback. After the event, make clear what's next. Tell participants what the next lesson is about and discuss with the coaches what their next challenge should be. Chronological debriefing. Another interactive way to debrief is to ask coaches in training to talk about their last activity from the moment it began till the moment it ended. While they recall their memories, they should also reflect on what worked well and what needs improvement. Most of the time, coaches in training already have an idea about what they need to grow. If they can express those ideas themselves, there might be little to be added by the lead coach. The aftercare. Once back at home, contact participants personally. Send them some pictures of the event. See if they had a good time and if they have any concerns, suggestions, or wishes for the future. Your best credibility is the way your participants feel and talk about you. Most participants don't care about your certifications or about how deep you can dive. They would appreciate proof of your teaching history. If you keep things safe and fun, and you care for them and teach them with patience and give them a memorable time, then they will return and they will bring their friends. Plan B. It's good to already describe a plan B in your event information. For example, if the East Coast is too rough, plan B is to dive on the West Coast. Or, if there will be a typhoon warning, plan B is to dive in the indoor swimming pool. Avoid cancelling your events. It's bad for morality. Your participants already cleared the schedule specifically for your event, So no matter what happens, the show must go on. Now lastly, what to do when things go wrong. In case of emergencies, get into problem-solving mode. There's no time to ruminate about what you could or should have done better. You can ponder about that tomorrow. Don't admit to guilt. Also, don't blame anyone, but give maximum care and stay professional, purposeful, and positive. Something about getting bashed. Once you become successful, there will be people that don't like it. When your actions get publicly criticized, then friendly thank the person for their feedback and defend your actions in a cool and factful manner. Close your statement by stating you gladly continue conversation in private. If the person has real concerns, he will take up on this suggestion to talk in person. If he is there to bully, then he will have no interest in a private conversation since there is no audience. Don't borrow money to people. When you appear successful, it will attract people that want to borrow money. Usually, you don't help people at all by lending them money. That way, they will never learn how to be smarter with money. You're better off to offer a meal or a place to sleep. Friendships have been crippled over small amounts. Sometimes you never see them back. It could likely fill you with disappointment and resentment, and that can be avoided by strictly never lending out money. Congratulate and celebrate growth. If you're a good teacher, it can easily happen that your participants end up diving deeper than you, or that your coaches start their own events and become successful themselves. This can be a bit painful at times, but be a good sport about it and continue supporting. Don't give in to the temptation to hold people back and slow them down. Instead, be proud and allow them to stand on your shoulders to reach for the sky. Just keep doing your own thing. It's okay to copy certain ideas, but often you're better off to not watch too much what others do and just do something original. Find new destinations. Find your own venues. Be creative and boldly go where no one has gone before. Book of Lies. Good leaders and teachers are consistent between what they say and what they do. Yet according to research, we all lie for 1,000 different reasons. Most people tell their first lie at 2 years old. It's part of our nature. By accepting this, we can set realistic expectations and forgive ourselves and others for doing something very human. Some lies are socially demanded and expected. Being 100% truthful can turn out to be awkward to the least. It can also cost you your job, land you in jail, or get you shot. Yet for teachers and leaders, and for humans in general, it's good to at least be aware of your own lies and the reasons behind them. You might even want to write them down in your very own book of lies. Those that say they never lie are simply not digging deep enough. Big part of our communication is nonverbal, through gestures and behavior. So if you're pretending to be excited by something that actually bores you, then that also deserves to get noted in your very own book of lies. By keeping a record of your lies, you can study them and find out what lies are absolutely necessary and what lies you could do without. Many lies are habitual but lack reason. These are the first ones to get rid of. If you really want to become more consistent in what you say and what you do, then reduce the amount of lies you tell. You might want to confess a few. This takes careful consideration, and it's a brave act. But once the truth is out, it can be liberating, and it can greatly simplify life. Lies build on top of each other. So by admitting to one fundamental big lie, many other lies might fall away as well. Other lies we tell to feed our ego, but they simultaneously hold back our credibility. It's okay to not know everything. The statement, "I don't know," can often be one of the most correct and efficient answers to many questions. While if you try to fabricate an answer out of thin air, it likely ends up compromising your credibility. Optimized time management. While for some, time management is cultural and habitual, for others it's a skill they will learn later in life or never at all. Yet getting good at time management can greatly increase your possibilities in life and in business. When you organize an event, it's good to list everything that needs doing. For example, preparing all needed equipment, followed by the ideal time or time window to do it, for example, the day before. After that, note down the consequences of acting too late or too early. If you prepare a week in advance, you probably have to redo it all on the day before because the anticipated group size can change every day. If you prepare the equipment on the morning of the event, you won't have time to fix or replace broken equipment and you are likely to be more stressed throughout the day. For freedivers, bad time management can cause deadly accidents, so make an effort to get it right.
Yeah, that's right.